Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick. Texas Rangers have been helping out down here. Big instance of like 500 Rangers came down to try to disperse a caravan, I know, recently, Dan. But, boy, you can feel the frustration on the Border Patrol. They are incredible people, but they are, I mean, they're not going to do it. They're livid.
I don't want to say they're overwhelmed because they can handle it.
No, they're amazing.
But they can everything they can handle, they're handling. Think about this, Laura. And by the way, welcome to Texas. Welcome to the border. All those people in the background are trying to get in.
They're coming in.
They're coming in the legal way.
The legal way. Yeah.
And so let's look at Texas. In El Paso, we're apprehending in the El Paso sector about 930 people a day. We're going to approach 1 million people apprehended this year, plus on the border from California to Brownsville in Texas. And we think, I was talking to law enforcement, do we get 1 out of every 3 or 4?
That's what they were just saying. 6,000, they think, in this sector alone,
yes,
have been, they're calling gotaways.
Yeah,
and there's probably more than 6,000. So the real number is much bigger than 1 million coming in this year.
That's why I've said to you that we have close to 10% of our population now is here illegally. You know, there was a poll recently that 152 million people in the world want to come to America, and 40 million of those live in Central America, and they're coming. Last month, Laura, the big change, I came to Del Rio at this sector 12 years ago for the first time, worked in the bushes at night with the Border Patrol and our local sheriffs and DPS, and at that time, there were mostly single males crossing. Last month, we had 30,000 single males we caught, but we had 63,000 families, and that's what's happening. And as we've said on your show before, the drug cartels use these people to distract and take up the time of the Border Patrol, and they run all the drugs and everyone else up the middle.
The politicians in Washington,
yes.
Give me a couple of ideas, solutions.
Well, first of all, talking about politicians, I saw you had one of the Castro brothers on earlier. I could hear.
No, it was taped. They wouldn't come on.
So think about this. We have Republicans and Democrats in Texas. The Republicans come down here and see this. The Democrats come here and ignore it. And that's what they're doing in Washington. So what does Washington have to do? Number one, we have to change the asylum laws. Number two, they have to give Trump his money so that we can have fencing, which is higher. This is more here where we have a border crossing, but in the areas of no man's land, the fence is much higher, much tougher to climb. So you have to have the fencing. And you have to give these Border Patrol more assistance. And by the way, to the Democrats, get off their back. You know, that story you were telling earlier about that young girl who drowned, and here we had an agent in the middle of the night putting his life on the line. And you were on the river today. You saw that raging river today.
But like, I'll tell you, the 21 days, you've got to be able to hold people longer than 21 days. We have one federal judge. I'm looking at the camera. One federal judge, Dolly Gee, or G, whatever it is. That one judge is responsible for much of this crisis. People dying, children being temporarily sometimes because someone's down the river, another one's up the river, separated. Looking in the eyes of the children today was a heartbreak. It is as a mother, and it's a heartbreak for the children. And I also have heartbreak for the American people and the kids in public schools and overcrowded. I mean, but it's a heartbreak to see this happen to children, that they're being used.
That's why, you know, when I was on your show a few weeks ago, I said that the Democrats, I think, are in charge of modern day slavery today. All these, I know, and I bet you saw this. I bet you saw this. There were adults with children, and you could tell the children weren't really their children.
There was one in particular was.
You knew there was sex trafficking. Yeah. Democrats have got to realize this is a national crisis. It's not manufactured. I mean, we are being overrun, Laura. But thank you for continuing the story and telling the truth.
Well, I'm not gonna stop.
No, you can't stop.
And Texas is on the front lines.
We're the front line state.
Dan, thank you so much.